Welcome to the Game Corner, another video game podcast. My name is Harrison. You might know me online as RobKTA, and I'm joined, as always, by friend and co-host.
This is Sheldon. You probably know me as Captain Unova.
What's up?
Another week. Some more Pokemon stuff happened. Some live stuff going on. You know, same old, same old.
Same old. More Pokemon. Got Sacramento Regionals coming up. And that happened, and we're going to talk about that. So before we started recording, when I was at my office right now, out of frame is a complete mess. In frame, only a little bit of a mess, like normal. I'm not trying to reload Riverside. There we go. And I was just putting stuff away real quick and trying to give myself a semblance of organization. But I have this like diffuser next to my monitors here.
Did you spill it?
No. That would have been devastating. It's only 100 milliliters of water, so not a whole lot. Would have still been sad. No, but I put like some lemon essential oil in there to make my office smell nice, and I definitely put way too much. So now it smells like I'm in the inside of a lemon.
Very clean.
Very
clean smelling.
Yes.
I got the wax burner, but I've knocked it over once or twice.
Oh, that's
so
much
I'm just
worse.
in that area, like on the it's below. It's on the bottom part of my desk.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's just kind of wax, just hanging
hanging out
down there. Yeah.
Well, at least it smells good. I guess the wax doesn't smell good if it's not hot, right?
Yeah. It's just there. It's just a mess.
Now it's character. No, but like off on like this half of my office is full of like boxes, like Amazon boxes, and just a box of random crap that I have to organize. And
but guess what? It's off screen, so it doesn't
off screen,
exist.
so it object permanence.
Not in this universe.
Does not exist. It's not in this studio.
Yeah, my daughter makes a mess over in this area in my room, so usually there's just chaos happening over there.
Can't see it. It's not there. So I think we're good. Because it gets cut out of even if it was in frame, it gets cut out of the picture. I mean,
Exactly.
It's whatever's cropped out. All right, shall we just jump into Sacramento?
Sacramento.
This past weekend was the Sacramento Pokemon Regionals with a whopping 409 Masters, and 9 day 1 Swiss rounds, 5 day 2 rounds, all kind of what we expect at those numbers, because we're never going to hit that 1024 number kicker. Especially because I guess an interesting point, we're seeing numbers now for the last 2 or 3 regionals have been sitting pretty at the low 400s.
Yeah,
which is way different from last season.
I wonder if it's the locations to do with it too, or are they just not spots? Because I don't think this one filled up, did it?
I don't know. Yeah, because we had
usually you see a mass freak out if it's filling up
and they're like no spots or whatever. Yeah. No, I don't know if it's spots or just it's the second year of the game, so it's dying down compared to last season. Who knows? But 409 players, and I think the big talk that's been going on over on Twitter, VGC Twitter, when it comes to this past regional is there's just so much creativity for what people thought was gonna be a pretty like not solved meta, but like slow moving early meta. Is that what you're reading on this?
Yeah. No. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, there's a lot of different stuff.
There's a lot of different stuff. I mean, I know we kind of got into the rut over the past the last few regionals
series,
of the last
I feel
series.
Like,
yeah, and it's been like, oh, that looks like a very classic Regulation C team.
Yeah.
So like now it's like, oh no, none of these. You have your staple mons, right? There's Rillaboom, there's still Fluttermane, there's Tornadus. You have these things that keep popping up.
Iron Hands everywhere still.
Iron Hands.
Urshifu.
So like, that's not shocking, but what's being paired together, I think, is the talk of the town here, especially, and we'll build up the anticipation. But that first place team is fun to look at.
It was fun to watch.
So too. I'll admit, I'll admit, viewers, listeners, everyone who's partaken in our podcast, I did not watch any of this event. I was traveling the past week or last week almost, so out of town and doing things, and I have to catch up. I haven't done that yet. I will probably go back and watch some of this because this top 8 looks so interesting.
The top 8's good. I didn't watch it live. I've been slowly watching through day one, kind of off and on, like at work and stuff. And I just sped run the finals right before the podcast. So
you've seen it, and you can tell me all about it.
Yes, I can try.
So go on. Well, no. Let's
back it up. Back it up.
Because I don't want to get too excited. I'm very excited to talk about this.
So there's a shout. He didn't win, didn't make it to the finals.
Oh, you're going to talk about
Andrew Ding going 14-0.
Oh.
The first person to go 14-0, I think it was.
Yeah, good point. Andrew Ding, Valentine Star on Twitter. Is that right?
Yeah.
So it appears.
They played out of their mind though, and through Swiss.
Okay, I realize what I'm about to say is going to sound so contradictory to what I had just finished saying, but this does look like a box standard Reggie team.
It's good stuff.
It's good stuff.
All the good stuff you expect in Reggie.
So before I even say these 6 Pokemon, I want you to write down, listeners, write down what you think these 6 Pokemon are. If you don't already know, I'll give you a moment. All right. Heartflame Ogerpon, Fluttermane, Rillaboom, Urshifu, Tornadus, and Landorus Therian. That's a good stuff team.
Everything just seems good.
It's good stuff team. And it's obviously good stuff. Andrew took it 14-0 and got knocked out in top 8. Yeah, got knocked out in top 8 by Riley Factura. So
who is on a tear?
Yeah, he's
this
doing
season.
Great.
That's another point we need to hit.
Yeah.
Once we get to the finals.
So that's really cool, and I'll kind of admit I feel like that's the only. That's the good stuff team on this top 8, right?
Yeah.
Do you agree? Everything else here has something stand out.
I'd say number 4 too, Shane Gaffney is pretty. It's dropping the Ogerpon and the Landorus for an Arcanine and Chi-Yu.
And I feel like that's but
it's still similar. You have an Intimidate, you have strong attack and stuff. So
the Hisuian Arcanine, I think, is a little right below what I would consider bog standard good stuffs. So that's why I wanted everything else. The other 5 is clearly
if you
good
replace
stuffs.
that with Landorus, then yeah.
Yes.
But
so still, I don't know. Those are probably the 2 teams that don't have anything particularly stand out about them. Not taking anything away from them. Obviously, good stuffs. I would take these teams on ladder and have fun with it. But everything else here, I think, is just a touch more interesting, at least. Yes.
We have 2 Alolan Ninetales in Top Cut.
I didn't even see the second one. Yeah. So
yep.
Let's go from 8th to 1st. 8th to 1st.
We can do that.
Aaron Brock sitting here in 8th place. They got 100 CP and $1,000. And they went in with a Wellspring Ogerpon, a Heatran, King Gambit, who's back on the rise, glad to see that, Iron Hands, who's not going anywhere, a Alolan Ninetales, and a Landorus T. So that's fun. Oh, before we get too far into this discussion, we, as of recording, don't have OTS or CTS.
Unfortunately,
so no team sheets to look at to kind of give us idea. I know
a few of the moves as far as Riley Factura and Michael Zhang's team. Especially because I just watched it, so I gotta read on some of that. But so yeah, we don't.
So we are just talking about the 6 months.
I can't look at we can't look at what the moves are and all just on hand here. Unfortunately. But you just mentioned King Gambit. It makes sense it's on the rise. You get a Defiant user with Landorus and Arcanine being so so you're
prevalent.
getting a lot of intimidate. So what do you do when people are running intimidate? You run something that you don't want to bring intimidate to.
Right. Yeah. So it's having that threat on open team sheets, looking at a defiant or competitive user, it definitely scares off any of the, any of your drops.
Yep.
You don't want to bring intimidate. You don't want to use icy wind, right?
Especially when you have a sucker punch, like King Gambit does.
You got stab priority on that.
Yeah.
King Gambit. It's gonna be
King Gambit gets scary real quick if you're not fast. Yeah, if you lead wrong or get into a bad position, King Gambit can just take over a game real quick.
And the other fun thing about King Gambit, so there are spoilers, 3 of them in Top Cut, but King Gambit and Pokemon that fill that same spot on a team, I think we've probably said it before, but like it's very high skill. I think to really take them. I think they do enough that you can use them. Anyone can probably use them, but to use them as well as these top 8 people do, is a impressive skill ceiling.
It is.
Are we? Oh well, we don't have anything else. We can't talk about more. We need team sheets. I'm sorry.
I know team sheets made this a lot more entertaining
for you and for us.
But 7th place was Brian Collins.
Which, do you know their story? I'm sure you do.
A little bit. You're gonna have to catch me up. I just caught bits and pieces of it through the weekend.
That's probably all I have too, because again, I was just perusing Twitter in small amounts of free time. So they brought a Gallade, Indeedee, Armarouge, some flavor of Urshifu, Torkoal, thank you, my gosh, and Ursaluna. So clearly a Sunroom team. So probably Dark Urshifu, right? That would make sense.
It's usually Dark Urshifu on those teams, so yeah.
Right. So we can take that assumption. So they had the fun experience, and props to Brian for this. They played with 5 Pokemon and got to day 2.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, to be fair, it is blatantly against the rules, but they named their Gallade Ceruledge as a meme.
And that is stated in the rules.
So I don't know.
You cannot do.
I don't know what round that came up as an issue. And
it was going into day 2, I think. I think all of day 2 he played without his Gallade.
Okay, so, well, yeah, I guess, I don't know if it was, I knew all of day 2 they played without Gallade, but I didn't know if they played any of day 1 without it.
Yes, they played I think all of day 1, and I'm pretty sure it was caught when they checked, they did the, let's see, took away my Gallade, gave me a game loss for the nickname.
Are you looking at Twitter?
Yeah, I was just perusing Twitter real fast.
Okay. Is it against the rules? Absolutely. That's a clearly stated thing. Very easy to catch. Okay. Game loss? Sure. Kind of take that penalty. Yeah. But to completely lose the Gallade, you can just change the nickname.
Yep. Yeah.
Or, honestly, this is my advice to everyone who plays this game, turn nicknames off.
Yes.
Right? Just avoid that. It makes it easier for you. You get to kind of see, for the most part, you get to see the name of the Pokemon. The only time that changes is if it's if the opponent is playing with a different language cart, I think, or if the Pokemon originated a different language. I'm not sure which one.
Yeah.
But then it could be, it's the Pokemon's name in that language. Either way, turn them off. You don't see that. Unfortunately, though, for this exact instance, even if you turn it off and you have a misnamed Pokemon, if your opponent has it turned on, nicknames on, they can still see it.
Yep.
So it doesn't hide your nicknames.
Yeah. So it's an unfortunate, but hopefully a lesson people learn.
I just think they could have had changed the nickname back.
Yes.
Undo the nickname.
Or they should have let them change it.
Let them change it to
okay, here's your game loss. Change it before the next round.
Especially if it was caught from like team check on day 2.
Yeah, like just change it, dude. Like
Change it. Take the game loss and change it. That's my opinion. I'm not yet a judge. I've never judged an event, so I don't know.
But I think to me that's just like the human factor part. Like,
yeah, you know that's a dumb joke. Like
yeah,
clearly it was. I mean, even Brian was saying that this is just the memes. It was I think he admitted it's a dumb idea, obviously, but still, nonetheless, 7th place in this tournament with 5 Pokemon.
Yeah.
I mean, a solid 5 Pokemon, Psy-Spam and Sunroom, Ursaluna, like that's a great team.
Yeah, but especially whatever doing that with that team missing one Pokemon, having to run 5, like that's
impressive.
Pretty tough.
That's good
because you lose that little bit of flexibility sometimes that those teams need in a big tournament.
So that was well done, despite silly memes. But yeah,
lessons are learned.
Lessons learned. Moving on to Alberto Lara, who has
and something else interesting.
It's not. It is interesting. Don't get me wrong, but it's also not that shocking,
considering what one of the top Pokemon in the format is.
2 of the top Pokemon in the format.
2, yeah.
Right. True. So Gastrodon, Fluttermane, Amoonguss, Kingambit, Heatran, and Landorus Therian. So that Gastrodon scene arrives again. Gastrodon seems to just always end up at the top every so often. It cycles in and out.
Well, yeah, you start getting strong water types, and guess what gets a lot better when strong water types are around?
Storm Drain.
Yes. Being immune to the water.
And
sucking it in.
Sucking it in, right? So like Rapid Strikes, Ivy Cudgel. Yep. I mean, those are the 2 biggest ones in the format right now that would be, really affected by this. If you have the most common, I think, probably still is Terrafire.
Usually,
right?
Usually you see Terrafire.
So there's very little that a defensively trained Terrafire Gastrodon cares about coming from a Wellspring, Ogerpon, or a Waltershifu.
Exactly. Yep. So it makes you not want to bring them. And Terrafire walls like a Rillaboom usually.
Rillaboom and Fluttermane to an extent.
Yep.
So like you have a lot of answers in that one defensive mon. And Gastrodon, if you let Gastrodon, if you don't have an answer to Gastrodon, it's gonna slow you down immensely. Yep. And could cost you
especially depending on the set. If you're yawning
and just you're gonna have a bad time.
Like it may not do the most damage right away, but it's gonna start adding up.
Yawn, Recover, Protect, and then Ice Beam or Earth Power.
Yeah.
Those are the 5 common moves, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So
that's
you're gonna have a bad time.
You see on it. Yep. It's got something for everything.
Yep. And then of course we still have Kingambit doing Kingambit things, Amoonguss doing Amoonguss things. Yep. There's not a whole lot of.
Yeah, Heatran had a pretty decent showing at this event.
Heatran did, it seems. I guess we'll jump down to usage here in a moment too. Once we get through this. Andrew Ding, we talked about a little bit already with the bog standard Good Stuffs team. I don't think there's much more to talk about there. Yeah, I wish we knew this Urshifu can go either way. I feel like it's probably Waltershifu to kind of complete that Fire Water Grass.
Yeah, it is. Oh, they actually have it on there.
What?
If you tab over it. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, they actually got the forms.
What is
So Brian Collins was Single Strike.
Oh, it does. Oh.
Yeah.
If you mouse over them, it has the forms.
So, yeah.
That's annoying.
Yeah. But Brian Collins is the only one that brought a
dark
Single Strike. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Then that makes sense. Although this really, again, I kind of want to make a team like this and play it. Looking at Fire Pond, Rillaboom, and Waltershifu makes me like, that's a great Fire Water Grass core, and I want to run it.
It is a very good Fire Water Grass core. And then you just slap on a Fluttermane, 2 more things to support it, and
I mean that's exactly what Andrew did.
Yeah.
So, and And then Shane Gaffney here in 4th place, again with that Hisuian Arcanine, Flutter, Rillaboom, Walter Shifu, Chi Yu, and Tornadus. Very fun here. I'm guessing this is probably a Flutter Chi Yu with Icy Wind, Speed Booster, maybe. That's kind of a pretty common thing you see nowadays, I think, when those two mon get together.
I'm trying to remember if I watched him on stream or not. What games were streamed that I've watched? Guess it wasn't him. I was going to say, because I did see some Specs Flutter mains.
Specs Flutter?
Quite a few Specs Flutter mains on stream.
So probably not. If that's the case, then it wouldn't be Icy Wind support, but Icy Wind support and Chi Yu,
but
like Specs Chi Yu, really good.
Yeah. So I like that a lot. That's what I've been running. I've been running Speed Booster Flutter with Specs Chi Yu.
Yeah, it's a fun team.
Everything just hits hard.
Yup.
But yeah, because while I was watching before, like people were running like Specs Flutters, like Citrus Berry, bulky Chi Yus. But yeah, it could go either way on this team. It's hard to tell without open team sheet.
I'll complain again. And then in 3rd place,
and we got spicy. We got spice the rest of the way too.
Yeah, so. this is gonna be fun. I'm super excited for the next 3 teams. So Raghav, he's also having a great time in the last 6 months or so of Pokemon.
Yeah, Raghav's been
super on the rise. Coming in with Wellspring, Ogerpon, Baxcalibur, Rillaboom, Heatran, Alolan Ninetales, and Landorus Therian. So this is very fun to look at because you have snow support for the Baxcalibur, snow support also giving Aura Veil, which I guess we didn't talk about back in with Aaron's, but probably what he ran as well. So you just have this very fast Aura Veil, very, very fast defensive boost. And then if you have just Baxcalibur in the snow, you can have that boost as well.
Which is a little underrated, I think, that you're getting a defensive boost on a bulky Pokemon already.
And then put dual screens in front of it, you're gonna have a rough time.
That thing gets bulky. Baxcalibur is already a tank anyway, usually how people ran it. So
and then if it's I'm guessing this probably had, the Glaive Rush. That's the move.
I've seen that. I've seen people running Scale Shot now on it since
Scale
that's available. To give it speed boost.
Right.
And so you can run that with loaded dice.
Sure.
But I haven't watched any of Raghav's matches. If Mocha was here, he could probably tell us since he's Team India friends. So
yes. So that would be fun. I do want to see. I'll probably go find some of those streams to watch. And then the other 3 with Wellspring, Ogerpon, Rillaboom, Heatran, and Landorus Therian, kind of standard. It's fun to see. In my opinion, it's fun to see the 2 different forms of Ogerpon really kind of even across the board. It seems they're very neck and neck.
Yeah.
There are only 2 forms of Ogerpon, so it seems.
Seems that way. as far as regionals are concerned, anyway.
Yeah. Stone and grass just don't cut it.
But the strong water type and a strong fire type, though, like they are, though, that's such good. With
grass as a type in 2. Oh, it's very good. So we have that coming. I'm guessing, kind of standard sets for those 4 mon. Moving on to Riley Factura. Like you said, is just having a great time this season. Tell us why, Sheldon.
Oh, he's number 1 in CP right now at 300, which is, it's always good to be number 1. But he won? Which one did he win already?
I have to check real quick. Riley Factura he won Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yeah. So he won Pittsburgh. He's top cut every regional so far this season.
Yeah, he top cut Peoria. And that's it.
Oh, that's the only 3, right?
And
We've only had 3. Yeah. So he won, and then he top 8'd, right? Yeah, he got 7th. So and then you top cut the 3rd one, or not just top cut, and made finals of the 3rd one. Like, you're having a good year so far.
Yeah, I'm kind of on top of the world, and I hope he continues to do exceptionally well.
super consistent right now, though. I mean, he's bringing some good teams. Like, so I did watch a couple of his matches day one. He was on stream a couple times, I think, on day one. I saw those, and I watched the finals. But all right, I guess we can go over his team real fast. So it's the Hearthflame Ogrepon,
Yep.
King Gambit, Amoonguss, Rapid Strike Urshifu, Chin Pao, and Dragonite.
So what's very fun is seeing Pao Knight back.
Yes.
And
it's a little untraditional, though, what you would normally think for a Pao Knight.
What they do?
So his Dragonite was Assault Fest, Inner Focus Assault Fest.
Okay.
So I know that from watching the streams, at least. So at least I have some open team sheet knowledge.
And I want to feed me. Tell me more.
I'm trying to remember. I think the only moves I saw from him though on it were Extreme Speed. He was Terra Normal too. Terra Normal, Extreme Speed.
So that's standard at least.
Yeah. Had Aerial Ace, Thunder Punch, and don't remember what the fourth move was.
Aerial Ace, Thunder Punch.
Maybe Stomping Tantrum, maybe, or something. I don't remember what the fourth move was, but the Thunder Punch was interesting, and it did a lot of work with Thunder Punch.
I could see that. That's a little bit of a left field move to have on it, and I really do like. So I traditionally dislike choice items, right? So normally Pal Knight, you run Dragonite with Choice Band, or is one of the more common items for that. I mean, I just want to get
as much damage as you possibly can and just
it's a huge amount of damage. You set Terra Normal E-Speed Choice Banded Dragonite next to Chin Pao. You are deleting things, so I get the appeal. I just wonder. I'm sure Riley has done the calcs for it, has a good knowledge for what this does, and what it can and can't just straight up KO. Or even the two of them KO because they both have access to priority moves very fast. But having the option to change your move, I think, is so huge.
Yes.
That
you can adjust to what happens.
You can just, and then Inner Focus, you're not getting flinch, you're not getting
no Intimidate.
Intimidate, no Intimidate.
Yeah, it blocks Intimidate and flinches. So
you're having a good time. You can't.
You got the Assault Vest, so it eases the losing multi-scale.
Yeah,
a little bit
for sure. You're still not happy to look at. You're definitely without multi-scale. I think not happy to look face to face with the Flutter Mane, but
it helps.
Oh, could the fourth movement Aqua Jet? Because that's a pretty common move that as well.
I don't remember seeing the fourth move.
Because that's a priority that obviously can hit Flutter Mane, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows? Not me. Riley probably knows. So anyway, there's cool things there, but again, I think Pal Knight having a resurgence, even if it's just
the one.
Hold on, let me look.
But Dragonite had a boost in day 2 a good bit.
Oh, we don't have we only have top 8. I just realized
we only have top 8 information here, which also kind of sucks.
Come on, Victor Road, step up your game. I'm just kidding.
But
I love
Dragonite did show up in day 2 and not being on the list for day 1. So it went from something that was less than 14.6% in day 1 to 16.7%. So it had a big
boost there.
Yeah, had a big jump there. So also there was another thing though that was interesting on Riley's team was his Ogrepon, which was a little different than the standard set for the Hearthflame.
Oh.
So what's kind of been the standard set for Hearthflame has been, you run Spiky Shield, Ivy Cudgel, Grass Move, Sword Stance.
Right.
That has been like what you normally see, and you saw everyone else running. Well, he ran Follow Me over Sword Stance.
Oh, okay.
So he was running Follow Me on his for just extra redirection because he has a Moongus, but
yeah, that's interesting because I don't know. I've actually only ever ran Ogrepon 252 attack and speed. So the idea of a follow me Ogrepon, I get it. I know it's used that way. You can train it bulky. It can be great. I'm just in here that does hurt my brain a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure there's situations He knows.
Yeah,
I've been
Riley's
running.
doing great. I ain't questioning him.
I've mostly ran Wellspring in my teams, and I've run it pretty bulky.
Yeah.
Personally.
Okay.
Which I use it as a follow me support for that.
Okay. So I'm just
hit things fast. Big stick.
Ogerpon bonk stick is great.
Yes, bonk stick.
It did great for me in the tournament I played a couple weeks ago. But yeah,
the rest of the stuff on his team is very standard. Just the King Gambit, Mungus, and Urshifu and Chien Pao.
Sure, you can kind of guess those sets pretty easily.
Yeah, but like I said, a Dragon Knight and a Ogerpon just being different than what you normally see, I think is actually gave him a leg up on everyone else.
You're not expecting that, even if you have open team sheets, you're not expecting it, and you don't necessarily have an answer to it.
Yeah, whenever something runs a move or something, even if it's not hidden, you look at it and you go, why is that there? I should be prepared. I still have nightmares, I think, of at NAIC, a Terra Ground Fluttermane with Terra Blast.
I don't remember you talking about this, but it upsets me.
Yeah, when my entire plan for on that team I ran at NAIC for like Fluttermane was to wild charge it turn 1. That was my plan every time. That was like the main thing with. And
that's pretty rough.
And I couldn't do it, so I was like, I don't know what to do. It was like Terra, Fire, Annihilate, and wild charge it or something. And I was like, I can't do it. So what? I don't know what to do. I'm lost.
That's wild, actually.
Yeah. So even if it's not hidden, like people, you see some people on Twitter try to say they don't like open team sheets because you can't run your secret tech. No, your secret tech can still get, even if I know about it, maybe I still can't do anything about it.
It's still an answer to a common thing, right? Like, yeah. I imagine it's like wild charging with your Iron Hands into a Fluttermane is not that shocking, pun intended, of a move, of an answer. So Terra Ground, goodbye. You can't do it. All right, the fun one.
Michael Zhang.
Michael Zhang sitting at first place, winning their 2024 Worlds Invite, 200 CP and $6,000. They ran Hisuian Arcanine, Fluttermane, Rillaboom, kommo-o, Iron Bundle, and Tyranitar.
Who can run a Tyranitar in this economy?
In this economy?
Yeah, in this economy.
In this field?
In this Urshifu dominated,
I want to know Michael's secrets. Because to do so well, obviously the two standout things here are obviously Tyranitar and kommo-o, right?
Yes.
Because it's just wild to see.
kommo-o was a beast in the finals.
I can only imagine. I want to watch this so bad.
And it's probably not the kommo-o you would think to normally run.
I don't know what kommo-o does.
It's not Clangorous Soul, so it's not that.
That hurts my brain. I was going to say the only thing I know it does sometimes is Clangorous Soul and Swords Dance. I actually don't know what else it gets.
Oh, it gets Iron Defense.
Was this Iron Defense Body Press?
Iron Defense, Body Press, Iron Head, Protect with leftovers.
Bulky boy.
Yes.
Bulky boy. Okay. That's pretty fun.
And
not at all what I would have thought.
And spoilers for the finals, Riley Factura could not touch it with his team.
Riley Factura only has physical attackers and a Mungus.
That thing, he got it set up and it sat there.
It won. It just sat there. Wow.
I can't remember what item his Tyranitar is running because in the finals it came in and I think he had knockoff or something on it. I didn't know it got knockoff, but
T-Tar? Oh, that makes sense.
Does it get knockoff?
Yeah, I think so. I would be shocked if it didn't.
I didn't think it did before.
And I'm guessing. So okay, you watched this team. This is a Sandstream Tyranitar, right?
Yeah, it does get knockoff. Yeah, it's Sandstream. Yeah, it gets knockoff.
So but nothing here unless what kommo-o is dragon fighting, right?
Yeah, nothing except for Arcanine can.
Could withstand the sandstorm without
Yeah.
terrain.
Yeah. So I don't know what maybe Tyranitar is there for Psy Spam.
Oh wait, did kommo-o
Overall.
have overcoat? Because it could have had overcoat. That makes
Probably.
sense. That would
Yeah.
make sense. Okay.
That or soundproof. Soundproof can be pretty good on it to block ball moves. You know, so like we're not bulletproof.
Okay, it's a bulletproof, right? Because you have like
Shadow. You can block Shadow. You can Terra Steel and
Shadow
Shadow
Ball
Ball.
and Moonblast are both bullet moves.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Moonblast is, right?
Is it? If it's not, I think it was Terra Steel. I'm pretty sure.
Moonblast is not.
Shadow
Really?
Ball is.
Sure, Shadow Ball is, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's one thing. kommo-o has very good abilities.
It does, yes.
All of its abilities are actually very good.
So it really depends on how you want to run it, right?
Exactly.
Like,
But if you're running
soundproof
overcoat in this, and especially in the finals, if you can't even put it to sleep, like that thing's just going to sit there and do what it wants.
Yeah, good point. Because that's powder moves too.
Yep.
So I could see that being the move, but I don't know. I want that is the team sheet I want.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I can choose one.
This is the thing like I'm going to play with on the ladder personally is kommo-o. Like
everyone's going to now.
Yes, I know.
Don't you worry about it.
It's what I like. I love me some body press stuff. I don't know why. I just love that move.
It's a fun move because
I get bulkier and stronger at the same time.
It
like
involves
okay,
the setup that only helps you, right? Like so good.
Yeah.
So
you get tougher while setting up, and you also can hit harder with that setup. So,
slow,
I know his
bulky kommo-o sounds like, I mean, slow as in setup and all that required, not necessarily speed. We don't know what the speed is, of course, but like that kommo-o set just sounds extremely fun. I know Wolfie and Cybertron were running. I think a throat
they were
spray.
doing a throat spray, Klinger Soul
set, which also makes sense.
Move is,
that's a fast setup, do big damage.
Well, because Klinger Soul is, I mean, it's a great move. It is. You know, it boosts all your stats +1.
Does it spread too?
No, that's Clinging Skills.
Clinging Skills.
Clinging Skills is spread. Which I didn't realize that playing on ladder, and I got absolutely destroyed by it because I didn't realize it was spread. But yeah, Klinger Soul, because it costs you 33% of your HP too.
Right.
So it's not quite a belly drum, but you get a +1 to every stat.
A little Omni boost there for 30 of health. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if how that really. I mean, I obviously there are videos on this to see how it plays out. Quite nicely.
Yeah. His Rillaboom wasn't like Assault, but it was Miracle Seed. And he was running Taunt. And he was running Taunt.
Oh, Taunt's interesting too.
Yeah. And so I know game 1 of the finals, he caught Riley's Amoonguss on the switch in with a Taunt.
Oh, good play, good play.
Yeah, so he called him switching it in, taunted it. Just made it useless there until everything out.
Yeah, very good. So definitely sounds like a fun stream to go back and peruse.
He 2-0'd the finals, and his like I said, his team actually worked really well. I still would like to know more about Tyranitar, like what it's there for.
Yeah,
because like I said, because it came in, it knocked off on the Amoonguss once, and then went out, and then the second game it got OHKO'd by Sacred Sword Chien-Pao, which it should always OHKO it, I feel like. So
yeah, absolutely. Unless you like Terra Flying or something funny like that, but still no. Yeah, it's that'll be fun to go back and look at, but I do want to know why it was there. I agree. The other thing that's very interesting is seeing Iron Bundle back as well, right?
Yes.
So looking at this overall, we have Iron Bundle having kind of a return and Pal Knight having a return. I think both is and even Psy Spam with Brian's team making a return and a showing here. I think it very much speaks to, like we said at the top of the podcast, very much speaks to the diversity and creativity that is currently going on more than I think anyone would have thought.
Yeah.
In this regulation.
I think it's a good thing. It shows it's like, there's more to the meta kind of thing,
more
like
than meets the eye.
Yeah, there's some depth to it because we're at a point where things can rotate. What's good can rotate.
Yes.
And to me, that's the sign of a good meta is, okay, this is the team. Okay, well, oh wait, this team beats that team. Okay, so now everybody's playing that team. And it's just you just get a continual rotation of what's at the top.
And it's more than Dondozo, Fissure Dondozo, Flying Dondozo. Like, it's more than that kind of.
My Dondozo counters the current meta Dondozo.
I think that's very fun and funny meta evolution, chain. But this is definitely more fun because you just have such a variety of teams. You really have the option to, if you have an archetype that you can play well, except I guess in my case, rain. There's no rain here. It makes me sad. There's no obvious rain. No, there's no rain at all. Just kidding.
There's not.
There's not even
snow, sun, and sand, but no rain.
Wow, that actually depresses me a little bit.
Actually, I do. I want to say Andrew Ding
could have rain on that team.
Dance, probably. I think
that would work.
I know I watched the Tornadoes use rain dance.
Okay.
So I did watch a game where someone used rain dance with the Tornadoes. So
with a rapid shock Urshifu and a Rillaboom on that team, makes sense. I'll run with it.
Take it where we can get it.
I will take it where I can get it. That's very important to me that my rain still exists. Anyway, though, no, any archetype, right? You can clearly do something with in this meta right now, and I hope it stays that way. It's not a for sure thing that it will stay that way. I fear the inevitable, congealing of the meta into one or two or maybe three major kind of teams. But right now, it's really fun to relish in the creativity of the community.
Yeah. But it's all over whenever you all of a sudden we have Dondozo as the top thing again, and
it'll come. Dondozo will make it showing at some point here. I'm certain. I'm not certain. Actually, I don't know. Dondozo's always having a rough time. It's always good, but
yeah,
it's gotta.
Maybe it hasn't won, but like it's one of those things. It's like an inevitable.
It has won stuff.
Yes, it has,
but
not as much as you would think as far as how it dominated the meta. But usually that's how it is, though.
Yeah.
Usually you get that. I think one of the only things I could think of that wasn't was Renya Sun. I feel like that was one that just fully dominated whenever it was dominant.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. That was
more so than your typical more so than like Dondozo teams. Like that team was rock solid, set in stone.
Everyone ran it, even though Renya, I think, said it was a bad team, which I think is just so funny.
Yeah.
Let's look at usage stats total real quick because such an interesting thing here. We look at day one usage stats. We're looking at the Queen has been dethroned.
That's 2 regionals in a row as far as the top or the top, day one.
For day one, yes.
Day one, yeah.
So Fluttermane is sitting at 3rd place with 50.1% usage, which is still high, still fairly ridiculous.
Yes.
But it was overtaken in first place with Iron Hands. Not that shocking.
Second regional in a row.
Second regional in a row. Yeah, same thing. And then Landorus Therian making a triumphant return to form, right? Like, I don't think anyone's particularly shocked that it's doing great.
No,
it was great.
Not at all.
Back in the day.
It's always going to be, especially away from Dynamax. Dynamax, I think, actually hurt Landorus a lot.
It gave it some interesting things it could do with like max airstream. You had to play it differently than it was before.
It's not how you play Landorus when it's been great.
Correct. Back in the chalk days.
When it's great, it is Scarf. I'm going to U-turn out, get this Intimidate, be able to do it again.
Cycle again, and then be fast with flinches or whatever it is.
With Dynamax, you Dynamax it, and now it's sitting there for 3 turns no matter what.
Right. And getting boosts you don't necessarily want to lose, right? If it's Airstreaming or something.
Yeah.
So it definitely had some a very different play style from Sword and Shield, but it's back in the greats, baby. It's doing its thing. Tornadus being fourth as a support, not shocking.
Best Tailwinder.
Best Tailwinder in the game.
Yeah.
Period. Bar none.
We'll probably stay that way maybe when we get
I mean, even Whimsicott,
maybe it depends on if Whimsicott gets any new tools. Maybe
people will play with it, and I think it'll have a showing. I don't think it's gonna dethrone.
No,
Tornadus.
Tornadus just has the stats to
power
through it. Yeah,
it's a genie, right? Like
it's a legendary. It's legendary. It's a sub legend or whatever the title is. It's got a lot better stats.
It's that tier of Pokemon.
Yeah.
And speaking of that tier of Pokemon, we have Ogerpon Wellspring coming in at whatever that is, 5th. Right ahead of Hearth Flame at 31.4 and 30%, 30.9. So very close in usage. Like I said, it's really fun to see those two kind of sharing the same.
Together we're at like 62%, 63%. So
which is huge, right? So there's a ton of Ogerpon in the meadow. So pick your favorite flavor of Ogerpon and run with it, right?
As long as it's water or fire.
As long as it's water or fire. It's your favorite one if it's one of those. Rillaboom, Urshifu, Heatran, Shenpao, Chiyu, and King Gambit coming up with the back 6.
You do get a nice fire, water, grass right there in the middle, though, with the Wellspring, Hearthflame. Rillaboom, Urshifu, Heatran. You got some nice fire. You can tell people are just putting that fire, water, grass core together.
And it's such a good core, right?
It
like
is.
You have, with those 5 Pokemon, 5 Pokemon, whatever, you really have a variety of choices for that fire, water, grass.
You can pick 3 of them to make your core, and you're going to have a solid 3, and then you fill the rest of the team with, Iron Hands, Landorus, and Floater Mane. Oh, boom, you got a team.
I'm gonna jump into Showdown the back half of this week, and I'm going to do fire, water, grass with some variation of these 4 Pokemon. Like, it just makes sense.
It's such a weird thing too that like it's such a good core though. Fire, water, grass is just always so basic, and I almost inadvertently always end up with it too.
It's what they taught us in the beginning of the games.
I know.
It's always been there.
The fact that it like holds true to competitive to this day.
Yeah.
Just how the interactions are.
Especially with these Pokemon, with these 5, you have a lot of answers between them, which is very cool. Day 2 usage changes a little bit. Flutter Mane takes the top back up again with Landorus and Iron Hands following. Fire Hearthstone, Hearth Flame Ogerpon. My goodness, my migraine is not helping me.
I'm sure it's not. It probably looks like that Ogerpon's angry face.
That Ogerpon mask is my brain right now. Fire Ogerpon, really overtaking Waterpon in usage. 41.7 for fire, 25% for water. Seeing the favorable Fire Ogerpon, yet still Firepon made second place as the top Ogerpon in placement.
Yes.
For teams, right? That doesn't mean a whole lot because water was 3rd.
Yeah.
So, and also, it was 2 of each in top 8. So, doesn't mean a whole lot. Could have been piloted better. Could have been, luck of the draw, right? For a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. But it still performed well into day 1 into day 2.
Yeah.
So it had one of the highest conversion rates, which we can get to those after we round out this.
Sure. And then continuing that fire, water, grass core, Rillaboom, Urshifu, and Heatran sit between fire and water Ogerpon with, shocking no one, Torn, Chien-Pao, King Gambit. Following that, and then the runner-up from behind is Dragonite coming in.
Dragonite busting into the top 12 on day 2.
Which means that while obviously Riley brought Dragonite in the top 8, there were other Dragonite in day 2 that were performing extremely well.
Yeah. So yeah, there were a date. Yeah. Well, it performed well in day 1. So Dragonite.
Sorry, that's
had
what I
a
meant.
good day 1. Yeah.
Yes.
Dragonite had a good day 1. Yeah. Which is it must have had a pretty big jump.
Yeah.
But I like how they whenever we get these to break down is the
conversion.
The conversion rates and the performances.
Do we have that? Am I blind?
Yeah, no, it's right below the top.
Oh, I see.
It says good performances, bad performances.
Oh, there you go.
But you have Rapid Strike Urshifu being the highest conversion rates at 14%, which is not surprising. And
not at all.
It's one of the most used Pokemon. It's super strong. Then you got other Heatran did really well, Rillaboom and Heartflame Ogerpon. All had big days. Let's see the lowest conversion rate though.
Give us the conversion rate for Dragonite, which
no, it just said it made it so they didn't have the numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're only going off of numbers that they gave us on stream. They didn't crunch any numbers beyond that.
Gotcha.
So
that makes sense.
The worst conversion rate was Tornadus. It dropped 7%.
And then she
again to me that makes sense because people slap it on. I want Tailwind.
Yeah.
So you could have, Tornadus is all up and down the placings there.
Yep.
Yeah. And Chi-Yu was replaced by Dragonite too, so it fell off of the top 12.
So,
which to me isn't surprising because Chi-Yu can be tough to run.
Yeah, if you're
in this format too,
especially with Rapid Strike and
which is to me it's the same. Like, how in the world does Tyranitar win a regionals when Urshifu is?
Who knows?
Like, if you look at the top Pokemon that it had to go through, Tyranitar doesn't really like Flutter Mane still. I mean, yeah, you got Sand, but it still hits you super effective. It doesn't like Landorus. It can't do anything to Landorus. Doesn't like Iron Hands.
Like, there's
it can
a lot
deal with
of
Heart Flame, I guess.
it
It can hit that, but it has grass moves to hit it. Rillaboom can hit it hard. Urshifu can do whatever it wants to it.
There's
Wellspring Ogerpon.
I don't know how he did this.
I don't know. I go down this list and of the top 12, 8 of them can hit it super effectively, really well.
Right, it's absurd.
That's insane to me.
Yeah, that's fun. Are there any Pokemon? I have 2 answers to this question I'm going to give you.
Okay.
Are there any Pokemon that you are shocked to not see in the top 8?
Shocked to not see in the top 8. It's a good question. Haven't even thought about that.
So my 2 answers to this. One, I wish we had more of the teams, like more of the open team sheets and everything, because I really want to know how well Machagacha. Sinistra did. Is that
I was about to say that. I was about to say that was one I would say is Sinistra, how it did.
I wonder how it did because I feel like it's such a good support and is
good into a lot of things that does well.
And making a splash in the talks around VGC right now. Yeah. So I wonder how that did. And then my fun pick, right? Like, ooh, this would have been fun to see. Would have been Weezing. Because I know people are experimenting with Weezing and everything, and it kind of puts a damper on Urshifu and other things.
It had some showings on stream day 1, but I don't think beyond that it didn't do too much.
I guess maybe shocked that it's not in day 2 is not too strong.
Day 2, there was 1 on stream on day 2. Yeah.
Sure.
I watched.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just 1 on day 2. So I was happy to see an Annihilate. I am still an Annihilate believer.
Mouseape?
Yes.
Yes.
He ran Stefan Mott though made day 2, but he had Clefairy over Mousehold.
And I know that's very
which I don't think I agree with personally.
Right. I feel like people are kind of up in arms about that. Not up in arms, they're up in debate at least.
Yeah. Personally, but I mean, it's Stephen Mott. Like, he's better than me. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. We can sit here and talk about all this stuff, but like
personally, like, I don't think I could run it personally, but
sure.
But I'm down to try. Because I like my annihilates.
If only we had team sheets we could look at.
I know. But I am, spoilers for, anyone that follows Pokeport stuff. I'm playing in the Liege.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I missed sign up because I was down.
Yeah, I signed up for it like last minute. I was like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And me and Mocha are in the same side of the bracket, of course.
Mocha's playing. I should have played, damn it.
But
I thought they were going to do it all in one day, all this past weekend.
Spoilers, I am playing Mouse Ape.
Spoilers? Fair enough. I think that's Sacramento.
Pretty much.
So
pretty much.
I want to know from all y'all listening and watching this episode. I think this is probably our deepest dive into a regional that we have ever done. And I want to know if y'all like it, right? I mean, it's kind of a slow-ish time for Pokemon, and honestly, we were talking before this episode, and we're like, let's make it short. I feel like crap personally. We got stuff to do.
Hour?
We're almost at an hour right now, recording time.
That's why we can't be left alone.
We can't be left alone. It's terrifying. But I do like the discussion. I think it was very fun, obviously, and looking through all this stuff, and even just really, we get all this information from VictoryRoadVGC.com on the usage stats, and we're just kind of like looking through it, giving our takes on what's going on, what we see here. And I didn't watch any of the stream, but I still feel like looking at this information, we can still kind of make good discussion about it, right?
You can still analyze
correct and
some of the information put in front of you.
And I think that's very fun to do, especially, despite not having team sheets. Hopefully that gets up soon. We can look at it more offline. But let us know if you like this discussion, if you like this type of podcast, this type of episode. And then we'll do more or less of them. One of the two.
Or we'll just wing it
or we won't pay attention to your feedback at all. It's one of the three.
We can have a plan and we hit record and all bets are off at that point.
It truly does.
What happens.
Which is always fun. So I'm burnt out right now.
Yeah.
Are you playing? I'm still gonna ask the question. Are you playing any other games?
Have I played anything new since we last talked?
Still just BG3 for me.
I haven't even really had time to play BG3, which sucks.
To be fair, I'm watching BG3 more.
But at least you're getting to watch it firsthand.
It's so good.
You get osmosis playing it.
It's with watching her play. It's more like it's still a very good game, obviously, but it becomes more like a interactive soap opera or something, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very funny to play it together.
I'm trying to think. So I played some. Sometimes I'll piggyback off my wife when she picks something to play. So she was playing Saints Row a little bit. She had never played it before, so I was like, I'll play it. It was the newest one because they rebrand or they re-released it, so it wasn't the original in the original story, the first one. Sure. So it was the new one that was just called Saints Row. Okay,
when did that come out? Was it this year? Last year?
No.
Later?
A year or two ago, I think.
Okay. I'm trying to. It's not.
It's newer, but it's not that new. I have no. I could be completely wrong. It could have came out last month. I don't know.
It's off my radar. It's not.
It was free on PlayStation.
Okay, then it was not super new.
No,
They don't give out particularly new games. I'm looking forward to though, and hopefully next episode, whatever, we can talk more about it. Spider-Man 2 comes out on PlayStation this Friday. I'm probably picking it up. I'm probably playing it for the weekend, which means I'm kicking back off the PlayStation for BG3. From BG3. she can go play on Steam. I'm so excited for it. Or conversely, Super Mario Wonder also comes out this week. So like two very different, very fun looking games. We'll see. So maybe we have something.
I didn't realize the new Super Mario's coming out.
Yeah, it's like next.
That's something else. I'm gonna have to get that for my wife because she's a big time Mario
Super Mario Wonder. Yeah, it's this Friday. So
yeah, so I'll download that and surprise her with it because she'll get a kick out of that. I haven't really played too many Marios anymore. I guess too many platformers in general.
Sure.
Sometimes I like to play. That's one of the reasons I like Pokemon so much is I can play it without paying attention to what I'm doing. Even VGCs, even VGC sometimes. Even VGC, I'll just turn my brain off and I'm just pressing buttons and I can.
I was gonna say we're at the point in our careers where if we're playing a team that we know well enough and we're just laddering, you can get into like a just very zen flow state, like, click buttons and move on, right?
That's one of the biggest appeals to me about Pokemon is it requires zero mechanical like effort. I'm just pressing a few buttons, things happen,
click, done.
Then I look at the board state again and like, oh, okay, I want to do this, and then things happen. Okay,
very fun benefit of the game. So
I like that sometimes. I like some just easy gaming sometimes.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But okay,
I did also download No Man's Sky on the Switch because it was on sale.
On the Switch. Tell me how that plays.
It's played good so far.
Okay, that's interesting. It's been
I looked
out
up the
long
reviews.
enough.
I looked up the reviews before I bought it, and they said it like everything said like, oh, they downscaled some stuff.
I was gonna say, I'm sure it looks worse,
especially handheld.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, because I was playing it handheld, but I mean it ran fine.
Okay.
I didn't experience anything. They took out some features, but it's not things you're gonna notice.
Sure.
But it's updated. It's not the original game that came out.
No, I love No Man's Sky and the journey that has taken. But yeah, I think that's all super neat. I'm just shocked. I'm not shocked it's on Switch. I'm shocked it's on Switch well enough that it's fine.
Yeah.
Acceptable.
Yeah, it seemed fine to me so far. So
cool. Fun game. Okay, cool. I think that's an episode. And a full one at that. Somehow we dragged this out to an hour. So I don't even drag. It didn't feel like a drag.
It did feel like a drag.
Yeah.
We were rolling.
We were rolling. We had that. We got the conversation going.
We did.
But
press. Good job, us.
Good job. We pat ourselves on the back for that. All right, cool. Well, thanks to RobKTA for the use of our theme song, Goldenrod Game Corner off the Ultraball album. I've been Harrison. You can find me online at @row_ixon at all the places. I can be on. I hate that I'm going to say this sentence. I need to be on social media more. That did not feel good to come out of my mouth, but
I'm pretty sure you're like a therapist would say that's not a good idea.
It's not a good idea. But I want to so that I can continue to get fake internet points and talk to people.
I do like those internet points.
That's fair enough. And who are you, Sheldon?
I'm Captain Unova. You might know me as Sheldon, but you can find me online at on Twitter, Captain_Unova, and Captain Unova pretty much everywhere else. It's in the link down below.
Well, that's my thing. We've been the Game Corner. You can find us at Game Corner VGC and the Game Corner VGC YouTube, Twitter, X, Threads. Don't post there anymore, and all the fun stuff. But like Sheldon said, everything's down below. You can join the Discord. Please come say hi. We have the Patreon if you'd like to support us there. But most importantly, just come hang out, and we thank you for hanging out for another week with us. And until next time, press start and game on. Bye.